Hi everybody, my name's Michelle. I just wanted to give you all a little background on myself before I start. This is where I live right now, my beautiful little creek behind me. So I started out, in high school. I worked for Walmart for several years, probably in every department, and I love my job. I was completely inspired by Sam Walton's story. I knew that I've wanted to be an entrepreneur my whole life. But after graduating high school and not being able to afford an apartment or anything, I ended up quitting Walmart and going to a local factory. And it was awesome. I made new friends. I made a lot of money. I loved my job. I forgot all about wanting to do my own thing until 7 years later. My factory got bought and sold to another company overseas, and everybody lost their job. I had not planned for that. It was extremely difficult. I ended up selling everything I own, moving back home with my mom, and starting life all over again. And a few months later, I met who is now my husband. He had a good job, so we got relocated to Missouri. And so we lived there for a little over a year. And then my husband had his first of 3 heart attacks while we were there. So he ended up losing his job, and with 3 payments left to go on both of our vehicles, just like that, I lost my car. We were homeless and we had nowhere to go. So we decided, instead of going back up to Wisconsin to live with my family, we decided to try Oklahoma and come down here and live with my husband's family. Things went well for a little while. I stumbled across Motor Club of America. At that time, this was like 15 years ago, so social media and everything was still very, very new. So all my leads were done on foot traffic. Like I went to like local hardware shops and Sears and things like that, auto mechanic stores. And I didn't sell to put people on a team. I sold just the package for the roadside assistance, which is what we all carry. And I did very well. I was making 200 plus a week, and that was what I needed at the time. After a while, I decided to put myself through school, and my husband through school. He became a police officer. I was a CNA. And I ended up quitting Motor Club of America. Going to school and then working full time, I didn't have time for it. And doing everything on foot, making $200 a week. As a CNA, I was making $400 a week. So I just kind of dropped out of it. And then I was diagnosed with cancer. And a week after I was diagnosed, I got into a car accident. I was hit by a drunk driver. So I pretty much literally hit rock bottom. I went through my treatments and everything, and I was cancer free for a year, and I got pregnant. Something we had tried for 10 years, but I was just told was never going to happen for us. So it was a complete shock in a good way. But as with a lot of pregnancies, I had complications. My son was a little big. He came out around 13 pounds and 2 feet long. His lungs were undeveloped, and he had a thick-walled heart, so it had trouble pumping on its own. So we were in the NICU for a long time. After 36 days in the NICU, my husband was asked to resign from the police department. Because he could not fill his shifts because he didn't want to leave us in the hospital. I had lost my job as a CNA 3 months prior because I had gotten kicked in the stomach by a patient, and I almost lost the baby. So both of us were jobless once again, and it really sucked. This was the middle of winter. We had no food, no electricity, no water, and then we were sent home. So we kind of had to reevaluate our lives. We got some help from our parents. And then we just decided that something we were both extremely interested in was food. So we took out a business loan, opened up a small restaurant, and I still have it to this day. We are just starting our 4th year. We are a 5-star restaurant voted on like Google, TripAdvisor, Yelp, Facebook, and it's been going really, really well. But the better your business goes, the more employees you have to hire, the more the bills get, the more the food costs. We are in a small town, a little tourist town, so like 3 to 4 months out of the year, we get a lot of foot traffic from travelers. But the other 9 months is just locals, and we love them to death. It just doesn't fully support our business. The restaurant pays for itself, but there's just nothing left over. So we have talked about all the different things that we could possibly do. And I was on Facebook one day and I came across a post for MCA, which is Motor Club of America, what I used to do, and I was like, wow, it has evolved so much that I didn't even realize. And if I had stayed in it, I'd be making over 6 figures by now. And I can't believe I gave it up, but at the time it wasn't right for us. And so now I have re-signed back up with them. I'm not very computer savvy or internet savvy, so this whole new approach using social media is a little bit difficult for me. So I signed up with them about a year ago, and I have spent the last year researching everything I can on network marketing and how it works and who's involved. You know, the company's been around since 1926. When I was a young kid, I'd carried AAA on my insurance because that's who my insurance company recommended, and that's what my parents did, so that's what I did. And then later on, I, cut out the AAA and I put on MCA. A couple of main reasons. I had to use AAA once. I was in a car accident in the middle of winter in Wisconsin. I was driving home from a friend's house, and there was ice on the road, and I went off of a bridge. I called AAA, and because of the weather, they told me that they couldn't get to me. Well, I was in a small town where they didn't have anything. So my parents couldn't get to me, nothing. So we ended up staying in a little bait and tackle shop for the night, which was really creepy. But it was that next morning when I dropped AAA off my account. And I've had MCA for years. Most people don't ever have to use things like this, but then life happens. So recently I was driving my mother-in-law's car. Her transmission went out. So I called MCA and I told them what happened, and even though I'm not even in my home state anymore where I had signed up for this, I'm in Oklahoma now instead of Wisconsin, they come, they pick you up, and they travel up to like 150 miles within your travel zone to drop your car off. So that worked out great. And then several months later, I was driving my husband's truck and his clutch went out. It was just me and the baby in the car, again in winter. So I called MCA, and within 30 minutes, again, they had someone come out and tow my car all the way back to our property. We live on a beautiful 80 acres. I know there's a lot of trees here, so it's really hard to see. I'll upload more YouTube videos next week with the property and stuff. But it's changed my life forever. I'm so glad I signed back up with them. And yes, we are keeping the restaurant. I don't ever want to give that up. That's something my husband and I truly love to do. It's more of a hobby. It's something we love. The people love it. So we're going to keep it open on the weekends, just like we have been. We don't really get tourists in our town during the week, so I use the rest of the week to focus on MCA. And by the end of next year, I should be making about 6 figures. And we need to redo the decks on the house and everything. I'd like to travel. I'd like to see my parents. My son is 3.5 now, and I've only seen my parents twice in the last 8 years just because there was no money for me to travel. So I'm very excited to start this opportunity again. I'm so glad my husband is on board with me. And I look forward to talking to y'all again real soon. I will upload another video sometime this week. So for right now, if any of you are interested in signing up and being a sales marketer for MCA, you can contact me. My phone number is 580-512-7497. You can email me. It's mca.mdavidson, which is davidson3@gmail.com, or you can go to one of my websites and just sign up. Let's see if you can see these. Those are the websites that I'm affiliated with. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see all the upcoming videos that I'm going to be posting. And I will have a lot more information on MCA and what we do here. You know, we help people save money and then help them in their careers. MCA it's a roadside assistance package. So I will upload all the benefits and everything that is affiliated with it. And I will talk to y'all real soon. Thank you for watching.